in. So, hello, my Lotus Buds, and welcome back to Growing Glowing, the podcast with Queen K. Today we have the rapper, the artist, the poet, okay, NOLA reppin legend, okay, Slick the poet, hey. Oh, I wish I had the sound effects.
Oh, yeah, right.
Clap him up, clap him up, clap him up. So yes, today is of course Mental Health and Healing Mondays. I appreciate y'all for coming back with me. I know it has been a break. It has been crazy. I'm finally live on YouTube. I'm so excited. It's definitely been a journey, but we're here. We're live. We popping it. We're gonna start doing it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Get back on our stuff. So let's get right in. Today is we're going to be talking about the Black women and the strong Black man and women complex. Pretty much the societal norm of strength that is placed on Black men and women today. In itself, right? So, yeah, y'all probably only going to be on live for like 10 more minutes, so make sure y'all like hop on YouTube. All right. But, all right, so, y'all know I just graduated. That was the first episode that I did, and I talked a lot about not being able to, mourn really in grad school, or not really being able to like be anything but strong, But my colleagues, were just they got different as oh, you just had surgery. Oh, let's make sure you're okay. Do you need more time off? And like in front of my face, not like as if they had no idea the stuff that was going on, and you want to tell them like, hey, let me be honest. But to be honest, all my experiences with explaining that in higher academia, they just kind of use that to be like, well, maybe this is why you need a break, or this is why you just use it against you in a sense. So then it's like, I don't want to tell y'all nothing, but it's like, and they want to be like, oh, but you have to communicate. How do we know? Y'all motherfuckers don't care. They don't. They want you to be strong. Oh, you could take more. You could take more pain. There was literally a study that said, this is why I'll never have a fucking baby in the hospital. My shit's gonna be at home unassisted. Okay, fuck all that shit. But they did a study, and it showed that majority of doctors believe that Black women feel less pain. So in the hospital, when they're like, oh, we're in pain, I'm hurting, especially when we're having our babies, they're like, oh no, you're good, you got this, don't worry about it, you're fine, and then we're dead. Fucking assholes. But anyways, but yes, so yeah, I definitely experienced. I'm gonna let him talk a little bit, and then we'll kind of go into some deeper stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm just Slick the poet. How y'all doing? So yeah, well, I feel like in my sense of my life, so look, I'm a Black guy that actually did go to a private school before. Let me tell you this, it was the exact opposite of what people think. It's like you pretty much the only Black person, and it's like you treat it different in the sense of they looking at you like you a token. Like, all right, so I can dance, and they was and all that. They pretty much looking at me like, oh. So my sense is this: like, I used to go to dances and this, and be talking to the females. I was real popular. So,
ooh, okay, popular.
so when I got popular and stuff, we was in the school. And it was like me trying to talk to the daughters, and when it got to that point, it was like, nah, because I was Black. It's like you can do this, you can have fun, you can show everybody this good time with your dancing skills and your basketball skills. Because we never saw this before in our life, you know what I'm saying? So we like to look at it, but nah, you can't talk to our daughter. You can't do none of that. Like, you couldn't do. Like, I just got treated different in the whole school in the sense of a lot of things, man. But at the end of the day, and being a token is like, I'm different in the sense of just in society anyway. So that just made us grow, I guess. It makes us grow. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't leave space, for you to be vulnerable, like you say, because if it was, who can you be vulnerable with, number one, in that situation? there is nobody, in support. And that's what grad school felt like. You like stick out like a sore thumb. Everybody look at you, but it's like they look at you, but it's also like you're expected of more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I talk about my first experience seeing clients my first year of grad school, and when I say I was the only black soul in the building, the only black soul in the building, there was another person that was there that was black, who was a black man who ended up quitting and saying that the owner or whatever didn't care about black people and all that shit, but he worked in the other building. But like a couple months after I got there, a few people kind of trickled in, but it was really like I was the only like black therapist. And certain things I struggled with, as all like new trainees struggle with, because you're just starting out, you're a trainee. They hold you to a higher standard. If you're a black woman, they're like, oh no, like you should be. And it's like, man, are you kidding me? You know what I mean? And then on top of that, they want to give you the hardest clients. They want to give you like just, and granted, I have been through a lot of stuff in my life, so like I'm able to relate in some sense. But they want to give you the hardest clients, you know what I mean? And then it's like you can't even show like weakness, you know what I mean? Or like, oh, it's hard on me, or like, oh, I need a good cry because my my client just opened up to me in certain ways, and maybe I feel like I was able to help them, or maybe I feel like I could help them, and I feel like a failure or whatever. Like it doesn't really give space to feel that you're supposed to be twice as good, and it's also reiterated in the household. I was always taught, by my dad, R.I.P. Shouts out to Pops. Like I was always told to be twice as good. You have to present yourself a certain way. You have to look a certain way. My dad was in politics and stuff. You have to have a certain demeanor. You have to do things like a lady. Like, and I just hate that shit. It's like, oh my gosh, like why can't I just be me? Mm-hmm. But it's just that like that mentality. Like you have to be just as good. Like I remember being like look at my grade. I remember like, look, Dad, I got a B, and he literally was like, I only talk to A students. Like no joking. That's literally how he did me, and I was just like. So it was like, okay, now I got to go back and get A's, It when I was younger, it was like, but I appreciate it. And honestly, like when I got older, sometimes it was harder to excel without that push, without somebody like, I know you can do better. So I'm not going to sit there and like act like what this little shit is enough because I know what you're capable of, But that mentality, like you have to be twice as good. You need to be elevated. You need to be able to speak like if you're a black candidate, you got to speak multiple languages. You know what I mean? You got to come with this and this and that and that. And but we're taught that already at home. Go into the world. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Like reassured. Mm-hmm. And then it doesn't leave space to be human. And don't get me wrong, we're melanated. The blueprint. We are supreme beings and all that. But shit, we're also spirits in vessels having a human experience. And us being human, we got motherfucking feelings too. Mm-hmm. We be sad too. Shit. But yeah.
Sometimes you gotta get there too. Some people don't even they don't even get to the point where they understand that they're a black king, like a black king.
Yes, going into
some
that.
Of them, just still be in this world prancing around, you know what I'm saying? Just within the matrix, within themselves, don't even know. Like, because if you get to the point where you really, at that step where you can really, you know what I'm saying, do something for your community and your people, you know what I'm saying? Some of them they get to that point, but don't even realize that they're king. Like, you got all this glamour and stuff, but you're not rich within, you still spending them riches for the wrong reason. That means you sold your soul, you know what I'm saying? Are you strong? Like, that would make you, are you a man almost at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying? So that's also something that people just need to, look into yourself. Don't just shun it off. Some people be scared to actually learn. Learn who you are. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared of that. Learn who you are. That's not nothing to fear. For real. Learn who you are. It might scare you, but at the end of the day, that scariness is gonna make you be a very strong person, son. But best believe that.
Yes.
That's just facts.
Success, everything you desire is on the other side of fear, because fear really doesn't exist. We trick ourselves into believing that, but really, it don't exist. But either way, the two questions that I kind of want to hone in to take this a little bit deeper, and then we can kind of go off of that. So two things, because y'all know I'm all black love only, loving my kings, always uplifting my kings. Yes, I've been hurt, disappointed, you know, even abused at times by Black men, but I'll never give up on our men, and that's what they want us to do. That's all a plot, you know, to break up the Black family. And, you know, I became a Black therapist. I went to learn about the family in school, you know, to understand myself, to heal myself, but then also how can I help facilitate growth of more healthy Black families, you know what I mean? And that's really, you know, why, that's what I tell myself. That's why I'm in fucking student loan debt, because I'm trying to help Black people. I'm trying to help y'all. But yeah, so the first question, because, you know, as I love to hold my Black men accountable, I also have to hold us Black women accountable as well. So, I mean, just like yin and yang, you know, light and dark, you know, there's a balance to femininity and masculinity, because we have to have both, men and women. We have to have a balance of both. So with that being said, the two questions that I kind of want to focus on, I guess you could probably like go first once I do it, but the two questions would be, when is it going to be time for Black women to step down from their masculinity? And when is it going to be time for Black men to step up out of their femininity into their masculinity? Now, before y'all get mad at me now, okay? Before y'all be like, sha. I will admit that the society is publicly buck-breaking our Black men in our face. So it's partially not y'all's fault. You know, they took all the daddies out and emasculated the mothers. You know what I mean? You know, mass incarceration, crack epidemic. Don't get me started, but like, you know, like they did all this stuff to break it up. So now us women, we're emasculated, and it's like we have to be, you know, as a Black woman, you know, we have to be, because our men aren't stepping up. They don't want to provide. They don't want to do their healing work. They want to be enabled with their narcissism, and we're just like, no, we're not having it. But at the same time, he can't step up into it until we, you know, step down from it. But I will say the man is the leader. So a man has to lead with masculinity for me to be in my femininity. You know, I'm a fire sign. I said you were gonna go first, and then I went. I'm sorry. I said I was gonna go, or not go. I said I was going to. I'm a fire sign. Yes, I'm a fire sign, right? So like naturally, I'm like, but let me get around a divine masculine man. I'm like I'm very like, don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me quiet. Let a divine masculine man. Let me tell you about a real masculine man. And they want to talk about toxic masculinity. That shit don't exist. Toxic masculinity is the lack of masculinity, because a masculine man ain't even gonna raise his voice when he's leading you. He don't need to. He gonna speak firm in what he says, and he's gonna lead. And he don't even have to raise his voice. Okay. He's still gonna tell you though. He's still gonna tell you in a firm tone, like, "Hey, go do that." But he's not about to be like, bitch, that's bitch shit. That's feminine. Like, you acting like
going back and
a little bitch. Yeah. You know what I mean? And as a very, you know, like, I'm very, as a fire sign, masculine energy, and I was raised by a Leo man. You know, my dad was a very, you know, like, masculine man. And so I have, you know, high expectations when it comes to that, because I know what it is. So, you know, I see lack of that. You're not going to get femininity. You're going to get masculinity, because now I'm going to have to really show you. Yes, I did. Like, no, for real, because a lot of these men, unfortunately, you know, a lot of people didn't get like the proper, you know, they took a lot of people's fathers, parental figures away, and you know, the certain balance of the discipline and compassion wasn't, so they just got a lot of compassion, no discipline, and you know, it's a whole bunch of fucking narcissists. Not all of them are narcissists, granted, but it's a lot of them, you know. And then it's like reiterated, because you know, men, you know, are already in a patriarchal society, are held to a higher standard, like, oh, our black men, and I love our Black men, but y'all need to also be accountable, okay? Y'all need to step the fuck up. Y'all need to have one of y'all daddies like sock y'all in the chest and make a man out of you one time. I mean, I'm not talking about, you know, violence isn't the answer, but y'all know what I mean in the Black, you know, in the Black family, like sometimes you need to be, because no, a woman, these men be out here, they be talking crazy and acting crazy, there's nobody to check them because they have no male father figure who would. I'll check. You know what I mean? Like, get you out. Hey, the old school. Like, hey, I'll knock the taste out your mouth real quick. You know, knock the wind out of you. So you know, because you can't just be treating women like that or whatever or whatever, you know, the courses that you're doing that's out of line. You know what I mean? Not just obviously for shits and giggles. Abuse is never okay or none of that. But you know, sometimes these men out here did not have that check of discipline. That I'ma call, you know what I mean? And not fair, granted. But at this point, now that we're here, guys, it's y'all responsibility to heal that and to do the work.
I just say
so y'all can step up into that masculinity, so therefore we can step down because men are the leaders.
I feel like in this day and age, a lot of people lost their principle as this relationship wise, men wise, woman wise. They just lost their principle. Not when I say that, it means not that women go work, not that women cook, none of that. I just mean like they lost their principle, as in, man really lead. You know what I'm saying? Women can be a leader too. They both lead. They know when to not. They know when to listen. They know when to walk. They know when to talk. And then people just lost their principle with that at all times. Like we watching to where it's like, it's just too much. It's a thin line between everything now. So it's like I don't want to get into too much of it. Like just pretty much, just like with the LGBTQ community, it pretty much made a lot of thin line between things. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of thin line between everything. We can't. Men try to be a man, but it's looked down upon, not as shunned. You see what I'm saying? They look down upon.
Like I said, y'all are getting publicly broken in front of us. Like,
now look
go
at
Google
kids.
buck breaking, y'all. Go Google buck breaking on some slavery shit and go see. And that's what's happening. Like Kid Cudi. Why is Kid Cudi one of our, like, come on, you take somebody special in a dress.
Better example is what's his name? My dog, the dude that played the Lynx, the man that just, I'm gonna show you, the one that was in Get Out. Your boy, he just did it, dog. The one that played in the movie. Everyone knows.
He wore a skirt.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. All right, now that was a man that was really publicly like a king. You know what I'm saying? He was really in interviews talking real with his chest out.
That's what they do to us. They like, we're gonna take y'all leader and put a dress on.
Let me say this: in the new season of Atlanta, where Childish Gambino, now he got his fingernails polished and stuff. Not his hair blind and stuff. Like, I'm not saying that make you feminine. It's just the fact of the matter is he was not like that. That's not who he was.
Then they start having them wear makeup. It's like, hold on, you went from being hard, rugged, and now you over here. It start with it's like you said, it start with I'm gonna put a skirt on, or I'm gonna put a dress on, or it's fashion. Then it start with some nails. Then they got the little eyeliner. They got motherfucking NBA YoungBoy. That's a hard little motherfucker. They got him wearing makeup.
See, men need to stop changing who they are for media, social media, any of that.
Stand in yourself.
Stand your ground. You know what I'm saying? Just like since way back in the day, Bob Marley said it. All of them said it. Like, stand your ground, brother. That's all you gotta do. Stand your ground. Be a man. And we was talking about men and women. So like I say, principle matters. They took the principle. That's what it is. Once they took the principle from men, now women step up and like, well, since our men ain't got the principle, we gonna have the principle.
And that's the problem. And that's why you see all our women just saying fuck it and being the man in the relationship and getting and which isn't bad. I don't have nothing against it, but I'm just saying we doing that because our men are failing us right now. And I'm not saying that we're perfect either, because I feel like as women, we're also failing our men. I feel like it doesn't do nothing to talk negative or down on them. Love is what heals, not more hate. We got to come together. And that's the point, is they got us like this, and we need to be like this, because like this, we strong as fuck. And they don't want that. They don't want that.
That's facts. I do feel like the black community is failing each other.
Yes. Agreed. And it's like the people who know and see it are so far and few between that it's just kind of like a shoulder shrug. Like, those who know, and a lot of people, like, you could be educated, all that, but they're just.
I have to realize that too. No matter what, you can be. No matter what, as a black person, you can be educated, well smart. You can be an anime person, this person, that person, IQ high. Just like Jay-Z said, you still a nigga. End of the day, that's exactly how they look at you. No matter what, you can have millions, you can have this, you can have that, you can have this, you can drive this car, that car. When you get pulled over and they pull you out that car, you gonna still be a black person.
I'm gonna save this for later so they can like catch the rest on YouTube. But yeah, no, definitely for sure. So like, when do you think it's going to be the time when women are going to step down in their to step down on their masculinity? But even though I said it reverse because I said women first, men have to step into their masculinity in order for women to step out of theirs to balance it out.
Like I said, I feel like when that principle change, when men start standing their ground. You know what I'm saying? It's like a revolving circle, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like our generation, like the millennials, are the ones that are going to be raising the kids to do that. It's like going to be like our kids.
Yeah, once
right. Like we going to have to, because I definitely as millennials, we're definitely the generational curse breakers. Like they say, oh, millennials don't want to work. No, millennials just figured out that we don't have to sit here and work the same job for 50 years for shit ass pay and stay in one spot. And that's the American.
Yeah, you don't have to work the way they want you to work.
No, it's smarter, not harder. And that's the problem. They all mad like, oh, y'all don't want to work. No, we just know. We know the importance of, we're looking at our parents now. A lot of parents, if they did make it to retirement, aren't healthy. They have you know what I mean? Like we're understanding and looking at it like, what does that really got our family? And most people's families don't even have fucking retirements. Let's even start there. Or life insurance.
And then they don't really have it figured out too. I realize parents don't have it figured out.
Yes.
They do not have it figured out.
They're just like us, a little older, like winging it.
Trying to wing it. And they just found that they got comfortable. We just managed not to want to be comfortable and live out our dreams and try to really go for it.
Yes.
So that's the difference between.
That's what makes us kind of like.
Yeah, we want to not keep going in that same 9 to 5 work. Then you go happy on the weekend. 9 to 5 work. Then you have. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to have that financial freedom for all our life, you know what I'm saying? And then be happy forever, not just the weekend. So that's the difference between that generation too. Yeah. That's that, because not them old people, you know, in there.
I don't want to get flagged. But in a minute for sure, because I definitely for sure. But like that's what I'm saying on TikTok, because I was thinking about doing TikTok too. They don't give a fuck.
Wow. Oh yeah.
So I'm a but no, so I was like, oh, I want to too, but I'm like, But I know I wanted to. Sorry, pause. I wanted to before, but you know.
Yeah, it's
okay. Anyways, but so yes, I lost my whole train of thought.
Take a sip on that note. They was listening when y'all listening. Somebody bring us back. Somebody tell us something.
What is this? My big poetic rhythm.
Poetic rhythm. That's shout out. Thank you.
shout out. Oh yes. But yeah, it's just we as a people, like as millennials, we have a lot on our backs because we're literally like transforming like the direction of our bloodlines.
Yeah, facts.
And so it's a lot of stuff that we have to do that our parents didn't even have the luxury to think about. You know what I mean? So, you know, and understanding that. So with the whole, like, you know, strong Black woman, that whole idea, like that idea for me, I really don't like, and I really try to, you know, speak on it because I want, as a Black woman, I want to be able to rest in my femininity and my ease and my daintiness. I don't want to have to be, you know, like they say, oh, angry Black woman, whatever. That quote unquote angry Black woman whole idea comes from us having to step into our masculinity because our men aren't there, or they're not stepping up, you know, or they're being yanked out of the home or what have you. You know what I mean? And so it's a defense. It's survival. It's not for joy, for fun. You know, it's not like, oh, you know, we like being in that. And I can honestly say the only times I've been in like masculine energy with men is when they were, you know, like, for lack of a better word, you know, a female dog. So it's like, you know, and that's only just like a certain respect, you know, a certain boundaries crossed. Now I have to be on my rah to let you know, like, look, homie, I don't even like to be in that energy, but what you're not going to do is cross this boundary with me. And if you do, now I'm going to have to come at you in my masculine. Pop shit.
Pop shit.
Right. So, but yeah, so for me, I think it's going to be like my generation, our generation's, children and children's children that are going to be able to teach, to really reinstill those ideas you were talking about that we're lacking, those morals, those codes that as a Black community we're lacking. Like a lot of stuff, like with the Black Panther Party, like, they got talked about a lot, but they were very big at community, feed your neighbors, don't steal from your people, don't rape, don't, there's morals, there's codes. Yeah. And so we're kind of in the space where we're having to redefine that, as, the Black millennials. Shouts out to us. And the multidimensionalness of them, because there's not one way to, and I don't even, even Black, going into that really, because I'm an Aboriginal, some more shit, but that's if you know who you are, y'all might not know that, you know what I mean? So, Black or whatever, Black, was actually invented by that whole name was being pushed because if y'all didn't know, back in the day, our grandparents being Black, being called Black was almost on the same level as somebody saying the N-word type shit. But then James Brown came out with Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, right? That whole I'm Black and I'm Proud came about from the same motherfucker who created Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. Which, fun fact for y'all, fuck a diamond, get you some Cuban link, get you some gold, get you some motherfucking universal currency. I'm telling y'all, when I get big, y'all gonna see me with gold, okay? Because I'm going into every lifetime with them diamonds. Everybody ooh, that shit depreciates. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. And that's no shot. Because don't get me wrong, my ass gonna have some motherfucking diamonds. But I bet you one thing, I'm gonna have more gold than I have diamonds.
Hey, that's nice though. Us kings love gold. Us kings and queens love gold.
Period, Queen K.
That's nice.
Let y'all know. But yeah. talking about shit. But yes, definitely we're gonna be the but yeah, fun fact on that. But we're going to be the generation as Black, or Aboriginal, Moorish, get deep into it. Millennials, we're going to be the one to kind of shift and homeschooling our kids. They're making it now where it's you either homeschool your kids or you stick them with a whole bunch of random shit that's experimented that we don't know, because honestly, a lot of y'all that took that shit are an experiment. Hate to say it, y'all are, and I was I'm not down to be a lab rat. I'm not. And y'all can feel how y'all feel, but if y'all really just do some research, the FDA and the CDC tried to put 10-20-year hold on the findings of the experiment of the and right, because you can't say shit, you gotta be low. Yeah. They just released but the Supreme Court was nah, fuck that, we want the papers. They just released 11,000 pages, just admitting that natural immunity is better and all that shit that I was talking about. But anyways, y'all can go do that research on your own because I ain't gonna get my video flagged. But we, it's in that space to where it's your kid's child's either gonna be helping, you're gonna be intentional about what you're allowing them to have or be put in their body, or you're just fuck it, I'm gonna be in a matrix, I'm gonna send them to school, I'm gonna work, and I'm not gonna worry about it. Teach us, I feel like it, I love it. But it's setting it up to where we are having to educate our children, which is how it is always supposed to be. All school does is indoctrinate you into being ready for working and being in a controlled environment to where your creativity dies. It goes to fucking die.
Yeah, school shit just systematic prison.
Literally.
And really that shit
institutionalized. So it's we have to get in the space of, really understanding what our needs are and getting properly set up before we, before we have children, of course, you know what I mean? But also, even if you already have children, there's ways, you could switch, I could be here today and then in a year and a half, in a fucking penthouse. Chilling. I probably will. Ashay, remember this? I said this on this video. Shit. You know what I mean? But it's just about like you say, following your dreams and not being afraid to be uncomfortable and to, you know, move it forward. So yes, we're the ones that are changing and moving it. We're, you know, like the homeschooling, like I said, we're teaching our children the things that they need to know, survival wise, you know, working smarter, not harder, who they really are. Not having our kids brush with regular toothpaste from a young age because we know fluoride decalcifies the pineal gland. Having our babies set and powerful in their, gifts and what they're supposed to bring, without, the colonization of the, white supremacy and fucking bullshit.
Fucking bullshit.
They probably go. No, but I put it's not for kids. I put it's not for kids, so I think I can cuss.
You can cuss.
I think I need to put like parental advisory because I'm a cuss. That's why it's under Queen K.
Can I plug my album?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Slick the Poet True Be Told album. Out now. Spotify, iTunes, all that good shit. Just go listen to it. Just Slick the Poet True Be Told.
Video coming out soon.
Video coming out soon. CEO. Shout out to Be Is the Future, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we did good. We answered the question. And this is right around the time I wanted to end it. So
thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. Thank you for coming. You gotta come back.
I definitely will.
Thank you so much.
Definitely will.
Thank y'all for riding out with me. Okay. This is Growing Glowing, the podcast, Mental Health and Healing Mondays. All right. I'll catch you later, my latest buds.